Hello again everyone and welcome to another UFC review. This is for UFC Fight Night MacDonald versus Thompson in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So yeah, I'm just gonna say it was a really good event and we're gonna get right into the fights right now. So we're gonna get the Fight Pass sort of stuff right out of the way. When I first started watching this event, weirdly enough, it was just ending the fight between Jocelyn Jones-Leibarger and Valerie Lutano, I believe it was. Hang on. It was between Jones and Jocelyn Jones-Leibarger and Randa Marcos, and Randa won, so well done. I didn't see any of that fight except for the ending where they were both like, yay! It was a unanimous decision win for Randa. And then the other Fight Pass fight that I was fortunate enough to see was the one between Elias Theodora and Sam Alvey. And I kind of expected this to happen, knowing how Theodora fights, despite this being really the first time we've seen him. He is a very elusive and evasive opponent. He did a lot of really cool, sort of crazy kicks to keep Sam off balance, but I definitely think it opens, like, he exposed the biggest hole in Alvey's game. Sam is he's got great power in his hands, but that seems to be the only power he has. I think if he had kicks to his repertoire, he'd be a lot more well-rounded. He's got really good rounded. He's got really good wrestling. He's got amazing punches, really good boxing. But his problem is he looks for that counter right way too much, and he didn't really get any good chances to use it in the fight, unfortunately. But it was a good win for Elias nonetheless. I mean, they're both fighters I quite like. Excuse me, so can't complain too much. Not a great fight, but yeah. Next we move on to the actual prelim fights themselves, and this kind of becomes a trend throughout the entire event. Joe Soto versus Chris Beal in a bantamweight match, and Joe Soto won near the end of the third round by rear naked choke submission. I don't remember too much of the fight besides the fact that it was pretty good. There was lots of really cool stuff shown by both parties. I feel, from what I remember from the finish, Beal accidentally gave up his back, and Joe just managed to get the right chance to steal it for a rear naked choke victory. The trend I'm mentioning, I'm going to go on about it, is there's a lot of third round finishes on this card. There's even one on the Fight Pass, which is a fight I didn't see. But yeah, I think this card might have the most third round finishes I've ever seen. It's kind of weird, but really good performance from Joe. I wish I could remember more of the fight. Oh yeah, by the way, I'd like to get out of the way. I'm sorry I didn't record yesterday. I was just feeling lazy and wanted to get more writing done stuff. So hopefully you understand that. Anyway, yeah, good fight between Joe and Beal. Good work from Joe getting the win. So we move on to what was a very fast finish, and definitely we're starting to see the rise of the winner, I guess. The winner was Krzysztof Jotko because he beat Thompson and Corey at 59 seconds of the first round with a punch. Just one flush left was all it took, and it was amazingly well done. Just a really good flush left, and managed to hook right to Tamden's temple. And Tamden is a good fighter. I like seeing him. He's very well rounded. He's very tall for his division, and he just got copped with a whopper of a fist. Really, it was a really good punch. And I definitely think it's going to get Krzysztof noticed more. Kind of like what happened with Johnny Hendricks. Like, not a lot of people noticed him. Then people saw his fight with John Fitch, where he knocked him out within 8 seconds. So there's that. So yeah, I feel like that's going to be a similar case for Krzysztof. I definitely see him going far. That was a really impressive performance from him. For our next match, we continue the trend as Misha Serkinov, sorry, I almost messed up his name, fights newcomer Ion Kutelaba. Hang on. I did pronounce his name right. Ion is a newbie. This is his first fight in the UFC. I haven't been able to find much information about him, but from what it looks like, he's got really good striking. He seems to have some decent wrestling, but he didn't really do much with anything. He landed some good shots on Misha, but Misha was able to recover despite being rocked a few times, from what I remember. But there was a definite cherry on the cake when Misha managed to take down Ion in the third round, another third round finish, yes. Managed to just get in the right position at the right time, sinking a beautiful arm triangle choke. I like seeing that. You don't see enough arm triangles, in my opinion, so that was a very good performance from Misha. I'll be keeping my eye on him. I believe he's actually in the UFC game. If he's not, he should be. Yeah, I'm looking over it right now as I'm saying this. Don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, really, really, really good. So, mm, mm. Finally, we close off the prelims with what was kind of a boring fight between Leandro Silva and Jason Saga. Jason Saga won by split decision. I don't remember a whole lot of this fight, besides the fact that it wasn't exactly fantastic. It could have been a lot better. And for some reason, Leandro thought he'd win, even though he clearly kind of didn't. I was hoping he would, though, considering he's a lot more powerful and explosive. I was hoping for him to get a good finish, but didn't happen, unfortunately. Kind of a disappointing fight to end what was otherwise a pretty good prelim card. So, Next, we move on to our Scottish lassie that we all love, Joanne Jojo Calderwood against Canada's own Valerie Letourneau. Jojo won a third round finish by TKO, and it was kind of controversial. For those who watched the fight, you'd know why. See, pretty much throughout the fight, it was fairly even so far. Jojo was getting the better exchanges, she was getting more knockdowns. Then midway through the third round, she lands a really, really good body kick that genuinely hurts Letourneau, and she backs off a bit and she recovers. That's not the controversial part. The controversial part is after Jojo does it again, and the referee, Jaron Vallel, I believe it was, did not come in to stop the fight when he should have. Valerie was clearly hurt from the first body shot, but she recovered, but from the second one, I feel like the fight should have been stopped, and it wasn't. This was made even worse when the referee pretty much allowed Jojo to land a couple of punches that she really didn't need to land, considering she'd already won. So it was kind of a disappointing shot from the referee, but it was a pretty good fight all around, and another good performance from Jojo. So, yeah. And sadly, another loss for Letourneau. She's not doing too well, I've noticed, but what can you do? Next up, it's another third round finish as the Quebec kid himself, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, which is one of the coolest names ever, took on Thibaut Cote, and Olivier won sort of late in the third round with a really good rear naked choke. Pretty much Olivier stuck to his main game plan of just wrestle a lot and hope for the best, and it worked out for him. Managed to get a really, really good RNC, so sunk it in. Beautifully done. Well done. And another great performance from him as well. Always good to see him fight. Next, we move on to what is considered the fight of the night, and definitely, in my opinion, it is Steve Bossy against Sean O'Connell. What a freaking war this was. I mean, it was hard to tell who was the worst for wear from it. Steve Bossy did wind up winning by unanimous decision. I don't think it should have been unanimous. I think it should have been split at best, but holy crap, that was a really, really good fight. They were both punching the crap out of each other, as is expected from a Great War. I know one would have the upper hand, then the other one would, then the other one would. It was very, very back and forth. Really, really well done. Yeah, it was a really exciting fight. So, there were times where Bossy got a good knockdown, just couldn't really pull off the finish because of reasons, but it was a really, really good fight. I enjoyed it. Next, we move on to the co-main event. This is almost over, don't worry, the video's almost done. Donald Cerrone versus Patrick Cote. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Cerrone won, third round finish by TKO, and it was actually a very, very good finish. Fred, most of the fight was back and forth, but I definitely give the advantage to Cerrone anyway for most of it. Then he managed to land a really, really good left hand, which stunned Cote and knocked him down. Cerrone let Cote get back up, then clinched with him, landed some good right hands in the clinch, in the boxing clinch. Pretty much took Cote out, followed up with really, really good ground pound, and then fight was stopped. Good finish for Donald. Really good performance by him. Once again, I enjoy seeing him fight. I wish he could be in more fights. So we move on to the main event of Rory MacDonald versus Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson won by decision, and not a very exciting one. Okay, here's the thing. Thompson is very well known for his stick and move strategy, which is why he's been so successful. He's not exactly the most faithful, but he's got really, really good accuracy, kind of like Conor McGregor and Anderson Silva. But the problem is Rory is literally not like any of the other people that Stephen has fought. Rory very much dead on the outside, stuck to his kicks, stuck to his own range where he works best. Bizarrely, he didn't really go for many takedowns. I believe he only went for one, and that was stopped. The only time he went for groundwork was he went for something called an Imanari roll, I believe it was called. I might be butchering the name, where he went to try and get a good leg lock. Well, the move looked impressive, and I believe he could have pulled off something to try and get Stephen to submit. It didn't really work out at all for him. Like every time he tried, Stephen was able to get out. I definitely think the most trouble Stephen had was the first time Rory tried it, and even then, that wasn't much. You know, he was able to get out of it really easily. So, yeah, I definitely think it was in the later rounds where Stephen started to come into his own. He was starting to land at his range. I believe it was round 4 where he started doing some damage. He landed some really good punches that sort of busted up Rory's nose and broke it, causing it to bleed and stuff. So, yeah, I definitely think the last 2 rounds are what decided it, because most of the fight was kind of You know, maybe Stephen was winning, maybe Rory was winning. And the last 2 rounds was just like Stephen is winning, Stephen is winning, Stephen is winning. So it was good. It was a good fight, but it wasn't really an impressive way to cap off what was actually a really, really good night in all of fights, all things considered. So what can you do? Uh, I enjoyed this event. I always have a tendency to enjoy events, but there are some really bad ones. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But anyway, I've rambled on way too much. I guess I'll see you all next time. Oh, uh, quick update on backtracking. I still haven't shot a video for it, but I really should. So I might get around to that. You'll just have to keep your eyes open for it. It's actually something I'm really looking forward to, which surprised me why I haven't gone around to it just yet. I'll see what I can do. You know, if the pieces fall into place, I'll get it done. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I just hope I can get it done sooner rather than later. Okay, now that's the end of the video. I'll see you all another time. Peace.